Good morning. Hello, I'm Allison Graylis, President and founder of the Women in Manufacturing Association and Education Foundation. I'm thrilled to welcome you to our inaugural Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame induction celebration. The Hall of Fame seeks to recognize women who have made exceptional contributions in the manufacturing industry and to the advancement of women in the field. And today we honor the 15 trailblazing women who make up our first ever class of inductees. We are so happy to have all of you join us virtually for this milestone event. And thank you to our very generous event sponsors, without whom this event would not have been possible. These event sponsors include John Deere, GE Appliances, a hire company, Avery Dennison, Bracewell, Harbor Results, Partnership, SCMEP, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, and United Scrap. Also, thank you to our Hall of Fame 2020 co-chairs who provided our staff with exceptional support in the planning of this inaugural event. These women include Karen Norheim with American Crane and Equipment and Caitlin Sickles with Bracewell. We appreciate your involvement from start to finish. While we wish we could have held our first ever Hall of Fame celebration in person, our top priority is keeping our community safe, and we're excited to honor these amazing women with you virtually today. We have a wonderful program planned, which includes an inspirational keynote address, words from the chairs of our Women in Manufacturing Association and Women in Manufacturing Education Foundation boards of directors, a message from John Deere, our presenting sponsor, and most importantly, the stories of our 15 trailblazing inductees. Before the event closes today at 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll hear directly from the inductees as they share what this special award means to them. Also, as we kick off our first ever Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame induction celebration, I encourage you to connect with us on social media and share your experience using @WomenInMFG on Twitter and Instagram, and also share your Women in Manufacturing stories and experience on all of our social media platforms, including Facebook, using WIMHOF. Thanks again for joining us, and I hope you enjoy this celebration of our 2020 class of Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame inductees. Now I'd like to turn it over to our event's keynote speaker for today, Lindsay Gottlieb, assistant coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Lindsay joined the Cavaliers coaching staff after serving 8 years at the University of California, Berkeley women's basketball program. During her tenure, Gottlieb led California's program to their first ever Elite Eight and Final Four appearances. We are thrilled to have Coach Gottlieb join us today and to share a few words of inspiration with you all. Welcome, Coach Gottlieb.
Thank you for including me in this unique celebration honoring the inaugural class of Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame inductees. What an honor. I'm not going to lie though, I'm no expert in manufacturing, and honestly, when I was first asked to speak at this celebration, I was certainly honored, but a little skeptical. Why would they want me, I thought. And then I started to do a little research. I wanted to know what your organization, Women in Manufacturing, was all about. I discovered essentially that it's women helping women. Oh, okay, I thought, I can definitely relate to this. This is a group I'd love to speak with because, in all honesty, your mantra speaks to me. You are a group of women dedicated to supporting, promoting, and inspiring women in the manufacturing industry. Like many sectors across society, your industry has changed. Technology improvements making jobs more accessible to people armed with brains and not only brawn, for example, and women increasingly desiring challenging jobs with opportunity for advancement. And yet, also like most sectors across society, more progress still needs to be made, as women make up only about 29% of the workforce in manufacturing jobs. I read that stat, and I was reminded of a quote that has been on my mind a lot lately, one of the most famous lines uttered by the indefatigable Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Women belong in all places where decisions are being made. It shouldn't be that women are the exception. In every industry, across all walks of life, this remains true. Not 10% of places, not 29% of places, but all places where decisions are being made is where we belong. Amongst you are C-level executives, directors, managers, and supervisors, people in production and design services. There's no lack of talent or expertise amongst the women in your field. But what stands out to me today, and what is so admirable about your organization and the class of 15 inductees to your Hall of Fame, is that the prominent criteria is your willingness and aptitude for raising up other women. Let me go back to why I was initially surprised to have been asked to speak with you. You see, I'm a basketball coach. I know pick and roll a lot better than I know the manufacturing industry. But a little over a year ago, I moved to Cleveland to join the staff of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I spent the prior 20 years coaching women's college basketball. The day I graduated from college, I was offered my first job as an assistant coach at Syracuse University, and I've been coaching every day of my professional life since then. I eventually worked my way across the country and up the coaching ranks to be a head coach, first at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and then at the University of California, Berkeley. In my 11 years as a head coach in women's college basketball, we racked up a bunch of wins and had some memorable seasons. But I think what I embraced most were two aspects of the job. Number one, first and foremost, was the impact on young women I was coaching. The chance to have a lasting effect, not merely on their defense or shooting ability or basketball IQ, but on their lives, or on who they believed they could become and what tools they had to realize those ambitions. Supporting, promoting, inspiring. Maybe you all and I do have some things in common indeed. The other aspect I really loved was that as the head coach of a college program, you are sort of like the CEO of a small company, managing your current student athletes, recruits, alums, as well as aspects of the program like strength and conditioning or sports med, marketing, and fundraising. There was the need for leadership and collaboration, managing up in terms of maintaining relationships with the athletics director and campus leadership, as well as managing the aspects of daily life within a team. Not to mention having a game plan for pick and roll defense or what offense we would run, for how to handle the likes of Stanford or UCLA. I embraced that CEO role too. Women belong in all places where decisions are being made. It shouldn't be that women are the exception. And then the Cavs called. I was not targeting a position in the NBA. I never approached my career with the mentality that I'm going to go from point A to point B to point C, from assistant to head coach at a mid-major to head coach at a Power 5 school to the NBA. But, and this is important, I never thought anything was impossible. Nothing was ever off the table. That belief came first from my parents. The belief that there wasn't anything that was out of reach simply because I was a girl. And that belief has stuck with me throughout my life. I was a coach, and basketball is basketball, so why not the NBA someday? In fact, in my final contract at Cal, I asked them for an out clause for the NBA, just in case. Meaning that if some NBA opportunity ever came, I would not have to pay a buyout from my contract. So while I didn't have some master plan, I always had belief in what was possible. And the belief in what was possible became more of reality when Kobe Altman, the GM of the Cavs, looked me in the eye and said, "We want to build the best staff for our young team, a staff with diversity of experiences and ideas. I know what you've done in your career and what you could bring to the table here." And in that moment, my life changed. As industry standards shift and new skill sets are valued in many types of professions, things like empathy and communication, outside-the-box thinking and innovation, collaboration, attention to detail. These things are becoming as valued, if not more valued, than merely being loud or bold or possessing bravado. And let me say that as we are here as women, figuring out how to best support one another and lift one another up, it is our male allies who are also critical, who are often the ones that are in position to invite us to the table where those decisions are being made. Embrace these allies. So there I was, with a life I loved as the head coach at Cal, and now a decision to be made: stay and continue, or make the leap to the NBA. I was going back and forth, carefully weighing the options, the pros and cons, until ultimately at a stalemate, because really there was no right or wrong, my husband said, "What do you want your legacy to be?" Keep those male allies as close as you possibly can. I was lucky enough to marry one. And that for me made it clear. I love basketball. The game is beautiful to me, whether it's kids playing at the park or a Pac-12 women's game or the NBA Finals. I could coach at any level and be fulfilled. But legacy and impact on others, that's what drives me. So I leaned into my fears, and as a family, we made the move to Cleveland, to the NBA. And each and every day, I work to add value to our coaching staff. I break down film, study opponents, work with our players, and make suggestions to our head coach. I do the day-to-day role of an assistant coach to the best of my ability. But equally important, in my eyes, is that I do my very best to embrace the role of impacting others. That is my platform, that is my privilege, that is my responsibility. I embrace the role of impacting the men on our team, whether that be with a pointer on the court or a conversation off the court. I think it's important that they see a leadership style that is unique, that they see that women can balance being a professional and a mom, and that they can add value to the rooms they are invited into. And I try especially to impact women and girls, even those outside the realm of sports. When I decided to leave Cal, it was gut-wrenching to leave the young women on my team. But what I told them ultimately is that I am leaving my comfort zone to go to the NBA, so that one day maybe the statistics major at Cal believes that she can be an analytics whiz in the NBA or even a GM, so that the players on the team don't aspire merely to play in the NBA, but to own a team, so that they don't ever put limits on their dreams. And ultimately with this role, I hope I can have a positive impact on far more women than if I had never left my comfort zone in California. I want to impact women who are dedicated to supporting, promoting, inspiring. So it seems that we do have more in common than I initially thought. As I aspire to continue to impact others, I will share some of my advice with you as you aim to do the same. First, this group you have here, this is your team. This is your team within the manufacturing industry. My life is dedicated to team building. That's what coaching is, finding a way to make the group stronger as a whole than any of the individual parts. And it's not a theory that's limited to sports. Teams make life richer for those who are a part of them. Teams make the world go around. Really, the best things in this world come from teams. Whether it is great discoveries, I have no doubt that the cure for cancer won't come from a singular person in a lab. It will come from a collaboration of smart people. Or problem solving. The issue of social justice in this country surely needs people like you and me working together. And we all know that families are the greatest teams there are. So as you find your niche with this group, Women in Manufacturing, remember your role is to make those around you better, to lift others up. Ruth Bader Ginsburg also said, don't be distracted by emotions like anger, envy, resentment. These just zap energy and waste time. I've certainly learned that those are the emotions that destroy teams, and you're here to lift your teammates up to make this collective team of women stronger. I implore you, even when it's hard, and I know it can be hard on a day-to-day basis to work in a male-dominated field, to remember to invest in this team every day with your positive emotions and your proactive measures. It will help you, and it will lift all of us. Lastly, and maybe most importantly, don't ever stop dreaming big, and certainly don't be afraid to fail. For those of you who were athletes growing up, and maybe you still are in your weekend leagues and activities, you know that sports teaches all of us that it's okay to shoot for a championship, to dream about making the game-winning shot, to set really lofty goals and then go after them without fearing that they might not come true, even though they might not. There's only one champion at the end of a season, but we never ever regret having championship aspirations. And then many times we move on from sports and we stop dreaming. And sometimes we even start worrying about failing or not being perfect, particularly women. It's documented that when a job is open and there are 8 qualifications listed, women will meticulously study the list and rule themselves out if they perceive themselves to be missing one qualification. 7 out of 8, and they won't apply. Men, they have 1 qualification out of the 8, and they throw their name in the mix. I told you that I hadn't planned on the NBA, but I had always dreamed of the NBA. What basketball-loving person doesn't? And then the GM of the Cavs said, we want you to be a part of this. We want you to help move this organization forward in a new era. And you know what? I was scared. It would be different. I would be leaving my comfort zone of California, of women's basketball, of everything I had known personally and professionally for 20 years. There certainly was a fear of failure. What if I don't make it? What if I don't have all the qualifications? What if I let people down? What if I let all women down? All people fighting for a chance in a world where they don't look quite like everyone else. Certainly, it would take me out of my comfort zone. But then, of course, I said, Lindsay, it's the NBA. You can do this. You've been training for this. You were built for this. This is my time and my place. I will accept the challenge. Each one of us making this individual decision to accept our challenges, that's how we change the world. So I do want to tell you, as we honor the women being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and we gather to support one another's goals and aspirations. Keep raising the bar in your world of manufacturing. 29% isn't enough. It's only enough when women can ascend to whatever heights they choose and are qualified for with no restriction. Since I'm in my RBG inspiration mode, I'll finish with one more quote. She said, "We are at last beginning to relegate to the history books the idea of the token woman. We aren't token hires. We are essential parts of successful teams, businesses, organizations, and society. I'm inspired by the work you are doing, both to push your industry forward and to support one another as you do so. Thank you for having me. Congrats to the inductees, and I hope we stay connected to each other in the future."
Inspiring others, leading by example, breaking barriers. Hi, I'm Tammy Hedgren. I'm the manufacturing lead for John Deere for large tractors and combines. And those three attributes, that's what sets leaders apart. That's what makes them Hall of Fame leaders. Welcome. Welcome to the Hall of Fame ceremony, the first for women in manufacturing. John Deere's been part of women in manufacturing since 2017. And it's an integral part of our journey to develop, attract, and retain talent. And we all know the importance of diversity and how we grow diversity. And it starts with making sure that we have role models so we can see what success looks like. And that's what we get to hear today. Women, people who inspired us, who led by example and also broke barriers, including glass ceilings. So on behalf of John Deere, we want to congratulate all the honorees. Congratulations.
I hope you all enjoyed that wonderful video that only scratches the surface of the incredible achievements made by our honorees throughout their careers. Before we hear from our inductees this afternoon, I'd like to introduce you to the board chairs of the Women in Manufacturing Association and Women in Manufacturing Education Foundation Boards of Directors. Suzanne Lauda, 2020 chairperson of the Women in Manufacturing Education Foundation, holds the position of Director Global Advanced Manufacturing Technology with AGCO Corporation and has been involved with WIM and its education foundation since close to inception. Lynn Keir is the 2020 chairperson of the Women in the Manufacturing Association Board and is Vice President Corporate Communications with Diebold Nixdorf. Lynn became involved with WIM in 2017 after participating in our first ever WIM South Conference. We are thrilled to have both Lynn and Suzanne join us today to say a few words about WIM and our Education Foundation, as well as share their congratulations with our honorees. Please help me in welcoming Lynn and Suzanne.
Thank you so much for joining us today for this truly exciting and monumental event for women in the manufacturing industry. My name is Lynn Keir, and I'm Vice President Corporate Communications with Diebold Nixdorf, and I'm also the chairperson of the Board of Directors for the Women in Manufacturing Association, which we lovingly refer to as WIM. I am so honored to be here with you all today, even if virtually, to celebrate this inaugural class of 15 inspiring, game-changing leaders who have positively impacted the manufacturing industry and who have not only served as role models for all of us, but have helped to pave the way for women to grow and excel in the industry. Thank you to this amazing inaugural class of women for your leadership, dedication to manufacturing, and to showing us all how it's done. For those who are new to WIM, we are a national trade association dedicated to supporting, promoting, and inspiring women working in manufacturing. We offer an abundance of opportunities for women and the men who support us to engage all year long through membership, events, participation in our local chapters throughout the United States, and through professional development offerings, both in person and virtual, as well as via networking cohorts. For those who are looking to get involved in WIM, please visit www.womeninmanufacturing.org. We'd love to connect with you. Congratulations again to these 15 trailblazing women on being inducted into the Women in Manufacturing's Hall of Fame and for showing us all the way. We are thrilled to celebrate with you and look forward to an outstanding program. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for participating in the inaugural Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the 15 remarkable women who are being honored today. You are truly inspiring, and I'm happy to call you a peer in this incredible industry. My name is Suzanne Lauda, and I'm Director Global Advanced Manufacturing Technology with AGCO Corporation. I also serve as chairperson for the Women in Manufacturing Education Foundation Board of Directors. The Hall of Fame is produced by the Women in Manufacturing Association, and proceeds raised from this virtual induction ceremony benefit the Women in Manufacturing Education Foundation. The foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that works year-round to support the education and advancement of women in the manufacturing workforce through a variety of programs, including our Management Development Program, Leadership Institute, and Virtual Learning Series. Since the foundation was founded in 2016, our programs have impacted more than 5,000 women working in manufacturing careers. The Women in Manufacturing Education Foundation would not be able to offer these impactful programs and support the advancement of women in the industry without the generosity of our donors. With that being said, we would love to offer you an opportunity to support the foundation while you get some of your holiday shopping done. The foundation is currently holding our annual silent auction and raffle virtually, and it will be ending this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to place your bids and support a great cause. To view the auction items available for bidding on our online auction, please visit www.wmin.org. www.wimef.org. You can also make a monetary gift, if preferred, by heading to www.wimef.org/donate. Thank you so much for your support. And again, congratulations to our class of 2020 inductees.
Our first honoree is Kim Beardsley. Kim retired earlier this year from John Deere after nearly 30 years with the company. She started her career as an intern in manufacturing engineering, advancing through positions of increasing responsibility across multiple factories and regions. Beyond her outstanding business results, she led a number of important initiatives in the company dedicated to increasing the number in women in manufacturing leadership positions. In nominating Kim, her colleague wrote, "Kim worked with both men and women to create an environment where women could not only participate, but advance their manufacturing careers." We are thrilled to induct Kim Beardsley into the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
Hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here today as a part of this extraordinary group receiving this great honor. In January of this year, I retired with nearly 30 years in the manufacturing industry. Some things have changed a lot over those 30 years related to women in manufacturing, but opportunities for change still exist. One area that I have focused on the last few years is building confidence in women so they are empowered to follow their dreams and build a better future for all. A wise leader told me years ago, "Kim, you can do more." That one comment made a huge difference in my life and led me to a path of higher confidence in myself. Helping each other feel empowered and confident is something each one of us can do. I urge you all to find one person, a peer, a friend, a coworker, a child, or even yourself, and think of how you can instill confidence in them. Never lose sight of the impact that one comment can have on another person. Thank you again to the women in manufacturing for this great recognition and for all you do to help women in this field.
Our next honoree is Sandra Buckley. Sandra is CEO of SME, a nonprofit association focused on advocating for the manufacturing industry, advancing industrial technology, and promoting workforce development. Her 40-year career has taken her to senior executive positions in Fortune 500 companies and industry startups in sectors including automotive, aerospace, and construction. Her colleagues call her a cheerleader for women in industry. As one example, they point to her efforts to increase the diversity of the SME board, resulting in the election and elevation of more women on the board than any other time in SME history. We are happy to welcome Sandra Buckley to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
Hello, I'm Sandra Buckley, currently the CEO and Executive Director of SME. Thank you for the honor of being inducted into the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame. Many outstanding and accomplished women were nominated, so it's truly humbling for me to have been selected. I want to offer my congratulations to all the women who were selected for this inaugural Hall of Fame class. It's an honor to be included with all of you. And I'm especially honored to join Dianne Chong, who is a fellow leader at SME and the 2020 board vice president, in entering the hall. This is the result of contributions from a lot of people. No one reaches the summit on her own. First of all, I am so grateful to my husband and my family for their patience and understanding while supporting me on this roller coaster ride of a career and for encouraging my passion for manufacturing. There are many colleagues whose guidance and friendship I have greatly appreciated in my career. Thanks to each one of them for their support and friendship. In almost 4 decades, you learn many keys to success. An important one is that everyone around you teaches you something, and it's either something to add to your portfolio of skills or something to avoid. The key is to knowing which it is. I've also learned that supporting other women and people of diversity is invaluable. That's why I made it a point in my career to champion women's forums and diversity initiatives and sought out opportunities to mentor promising people on their own paths. There's room at the top of the ladder for many more of us. All we have to do is look at the environment today to understand how important it is to continue our support of the next generation of strong women leaders. I will leave you with this. This group of inductees has a powerful collective voice. How can we use our status as Hall of Fame inductees to ensure that more qualified and accomplished women continue to earn this honor for years to come? I'll look forward to continuing the conversation with both this esteemed group and with women in manufacturing in the months ahead. Thank you once more for this honor, and thank you once more to my husband, Eric.
Our next honoree is Dianne Chung. Dianne is retired from Boeing, where she was vice president in the company's engineering, operations, and technology organization, and managed materials and manufacturing processes and program integration. She is currently vice president of SME. Dianne was elected to the National Academy of Engineering and Washington State Academy of Science in 2017. She has served on the ASM board as a fellow of ASM, and in 2007 was elected its first female president. Welcome, Dianne Chung, to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
I'm very honored to be elected to the inaugural Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame. When I reviewed the other honorees' backgrounds, it was a very humbling experience. It also made me reflect on the role of women in manufacturing and the women that I've worked with. And a friend of mine recently made the statement about something else. I know I need to break the stereotypes. And these women and women I've worked with have not only broken the stereotype of manufacturing, they've broken the stereotype and they're making headways of what women's role in manufacturing are, regardless of what we're doing to support manufacturing. And because of this, I'm very proud to be part of this group. I'm also grateful to SME and ASM. Professional societies help me understand how far-reaching manufacturing is and how important the community of manufacturing is to the future of our industry, of our academia, and of our nation. I'm thankful to McDonnell Douglas and the Boeing Company for the opportunities they've given me to practice manufacturing and to learn more about it as I practice this profession. I'm grateful for the advocates, the mentors, my colleagues, the people that worked with me and for me, and even my mentees. They all taught me something very valuable as I developed my role in manufacturing. I'm grateful to my friends and colleagues for being sounding boards. They often gave me very good advice, and without that, I couldn't have developed my career. I'm very grateful to my parents and my brothers and sisters who supported me despite the convoluted journey from biology and psychology all the way to engineering and manufacturing. I know they rolled their eyes up a lot when I said I would make changes in my career, but they supported me nonetheless. I'm thankful to my son for turning out to be such a wonderful young man, despite all of the long days that I had and the huge amount of travel that took me away from him while he was growing up. But most of all, I'm very grateful to my husband for his understanding and loving support. Without that, I couldn't have achieved any of this. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Melanie Cook. Melanie is Chief Operating Officer for GE Appliances, where she is responsible for operational excellence across supply chain and digital technology. She has served the company in a variety of roles for almost 25 years. Her colleagues call her a role model for the advancement of women in manufacturing, as she works to attract and promote women leaders for the manufacturing industry through mentoring, recruiting, and speaking to both internal and external audiences. For all of her accomplishments, we are delighted to welcome Melanie Cook to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
My name is Melanie Cook, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at GE Appliances based out of beautiful Louisville, Kentucky. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to everyone at WIM for all of their hard work to support women in manufacturing in the past and for what is yet to come, as well as congratulate all of my peers in the inaugural class to the Hall of Fame. Speaking of Hall of Fame, I was raised in Canton, Ohio. And if you're familiar with Canton, it is home to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So I grew up with everything there is to do with the Hall of Fame, going to every parade, all the festivities, and even worked at the Hall of Fame Fitness Center throughout high school. So when I received the email stating that I was going to be in the inaugural class for WIM in their Hall of Fame program, it was so humbling to me and really brought things full circle for my entire life. So thank you for this honor. And I would like to take just a little bit of time and share some of my mentors, starting with my grandmother, Maxine Gilliland. May she rest in peace. During a time heard of, she independently raised 3 children. But even more importantly than that, she taught me to live life to the fullest, to laugh loudly, and that we all put our pants on the same way, one leg at a time. And she also taught me to have a passion for differences, diversity, new cultures, traveling the world. And with that, my family and I have moved to 17 different locations, 25 times around the US, Europe, and Asia. I've visited over 40 countries with another 50 on the list, with friends literally around the world. And having the compassion to understand our differences really has been meaningful and joyful. And then on to my parents. My mom was an ER nurse. She worked the night shift. Very, very difficult. She taught me compassion, hard work, and how to have the flexibility to just make things work. And then on to my dad, who always instilled in me the confidence to go after my education, to earn my independence, to maintain it, and to be bold and go after my dreams. And then my husband, Brian, who's been our chief family officer since we had our daughter 17 years ago. And he's been a pillar for how we made all this work. And then on to our 2 children who are now sophomore and juniors in high school, and they will always be our best accomplishment, always. So with that, thank you very much for this humbling award on behalf of my family and everyone at GE Appliances. And congratulations to WIM for your vision and your leadership. Be well.
Our next honoree is Nadine Crowell. Nadine is president of Sandvik Coromant. Nadine has worked in the manufacturing industry for more than 20 years, most of which has been at Sandvik Coromant in a variety of roles and locations. Her career in the company has been characterized by firsts: the first woman to run a country organization, the first woman to run a country sales team, and the first woman to serve as president of the major global cutting tool company. Welcome, Nadine, to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
Hello, I'm Nadine Crowell, President of Sandvik Coromant. I am so thankful to be chosen as part of this very first Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame class. At the same time, I am so honored and proud to be alongside all these impressive women who really paved the way for a lot of many other women in the manufacturing. This is such an important task. It is a journey that we need to go on. It needs our continuous attention and definitely all the role models we can have. So for me, this recognition is truly an inspiration to really continue to strive and drive for a diverse and inclusive manufacturing industry. So thank you for this recognition, and we will continue to pave the way for many other women moving ahead.
Our next honoree is Susan Elkington. Susan is president of Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Kentucky, Toyota's largest production facility globally. The $8 billion operation employs more than 10,000 people and in a year can produce as many as 550,000 vehicles. Susan is the first female president. She was also the first female general manager at Toyota Motor Corporation in Japan. Her colleagues praise her for speaking candidly about the challenges she's faced in her career and for serving as a role model and mentor to other women. We are delighted to welcome Susan Elkington to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Allison, and thank you to the Women in Manufacturing Association. I am humbled and honored to be selected as one of the 15 women who make up the inaugural class of the Hall of Fame inductees. This is an exciting honor. Growing up on a small farm in rural Indiana, I would have never thought that this moment would be possible, or for that matter, becoming the president of Toyota's largest automobile plant in the world. I think about my life on that farm and my life today, and I realize I'm doing today what I loved as a child, building. As a girl, I played with dolls probably at an age older than most. Not so much because I love the dolls, but I love building houses and furniture and many farms for my doll family. And today, I'm part of building the #1 selling car and #1 selling SUV in America. I love the creativity, figuring out how things go together and how to make them work. Manufacturing gives me energy. It has become my passion. I believe so many other women could have the same energy and would excel in this industry. That is why it's important for us to create more opportunities for women and girls in engineering and manufacturing. We have come a long way in ensuring that women and other underrepresented groups have a place and a voice in our industry. But ladies, there is still work to be done. And you and I can do it, for we have our energy and our passion. Congratulations to all the honorees. I look forward to meeting each of you, and I thank you again for this opportunity. I am humbled and grateful.
Our next honoree is Laurie Harbour. Laurie is the president and CEO of Harbour Results, Inc., where she leads a team of analysts and manufacturing consultants to help small to medium-sized manufacturers develop strategies, improve their operations, reduce risks, and optimize business. As a trusted advisor to the North American manufacturing industry, she is regularly quoted in both business and trade publications. In 2018, she was named Crane's Notable Women in Manufacturing and Plastic News's Women's Breaking the Mold. We are happy to welcome Laurie Harbour to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
Hello. I'm incredibly honored to be recognized by the Women in Manufacturing. And I also want to congratulate the other 14 people who have made it as part of this inaugural class of the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame. Each and every one of them has made such a profound impact, not just on me, but on all of the manufacturing industry, and particularly have worked hard to create a path for young women to get into manufacturing and find a career for themselves. At a very early age, I was introduced to manufacturing by my father, Jim Harbour, who at the time knew that getting involved in manufacturing as a woman was going to be a huge challenge for me. And as a result of his teachings and his coaching, I have made it my life's career to help manufacturers to become more competitive, focusing in on small and medium-sized companies to drive their competitiveness, and also, most importantly, encouraging and mentoring young professionals, and particularly women, to get excited about a career in manufacturing and the possibilities for them. We have come a long way in this path to get women in manufacturing, but there is still a long way to go. But I'm very confident that we have a bright future ahead of us and a lot more opportunities for young professional women. So I want to thank the Women in Manufacturing Association, the board of directors, and all of the staff of WIM and for this great honor. It is truly appreciated. As I reflect back on my career, I know that my father would be very proud of the work that I have done in this particular industry. He taught me throughout all of my career to always do the right thing. He taught me to care about manufacturing, about promoting it throughout the world that we operate in. And he always taught me to make a difference every single day. So I know that by getting this award, it has validated the vision that my father had for me and the work that I have done in the industry. So thank you very much.
Our next honoree is Kim Humphries. Kim is retired after serving as Vice President of Operations and Supply Chain at Avery Dennison. She led important projects to implement new technology and advance efficiency. Throughout her career at several industry-leading companies, she pioneered women's resource groups to provide support and guidance. Kim joined the Miami University Paper Science and Engineering Foundation Board in 2017 and helps to direct scholarship funding towards eligible students. We are happy to welcome Kim Humphries to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
I'd like to thank Women in Manufacturing for including me in their inaugural class in their Hall of Fame, and also for all the work that they do advancing and promoting women in manufacturing. I'd also like to thank Avery Dennison for nominating me for this honor, but more importantly, for the efforts that the company is making at making their work culture more diverse and more inclusive so that all people can reach their full potential. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Vanessa Lee. Vanessa is currently the plant process leader for Novellus. Vanessa has an amazing story, having immigrated to the United States by herself at the age of 16. Throughout her career, she has overcome obstacles and challenged expectations. She has held a variety of engineering and leadership positions with several prominent heavy industrial metals manufacturers. She paves the way for other women, leading women's organizations in her company and regularly speaking at local universities and K-12 schools. We are delighted to welcome Vanessa into the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
I'm honored to be inducted into the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame, along with 14 other successful leaders. I'm looking forward to meeting these amazing women in person next year and to learn more about their inspirational stories. My story starts in Hong Kong, where my parents supported me in my decision to choose a non-traditional career path for women. Thank you for your support. There are so many other people responsible for me being here today that I couldn't possibly thank them all. But a few include my mentee, Elizabeth Sochik, for nominating me, my mentors, friends, and colleagues, Stan, Kim, and Andy, and many others for encouraging me along my career journey. I also want to thank Novellus for supporting, recognizing, and encouraging women in STEM careers. Last but not least, to Corey, for being a good listener. Your support means a lot to me. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Sonita Lanto. Sonita is the Senior Vice President and Global Head of Marketing for HP's 3D printing and digital manufacturing business. Over almost 2 decades, Sonita has focused on how new emerging technology is enabling digital transformation. This work has taken her to venture-backed Silicon Valley startups and Fortune 100 global technology and industrial companies. She has spoken at the White House as part of former President Barack Obama's Global Innovation Summit. And in 2017, Sonita was inducted into the U.S. National Asian American Hall of Fame. We are very happy to welcome Sonita into our Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
Hi, hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to have been selected as one of the inductees into the inaugural class of the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame. It's such an honor for me to be able to be among these wonderful and strong women leaders who have made lasting contributions to advancing, promoting, and supporting women in both the manufacturing and also in the technology sectors. I also want to thank all of you for being here today in order to share in this occasion. Of course, this is an accomplishment that I did not achieve alone, and there are many others who deserve to share in this recognition. And for that, I would like to also thank my family members, my team members, my colleagues, my mentors and sponsors, and many others who have always provided me with support and encouragement along my journey. Advancing more women and women leaders in both technology and manufacturing have been a lifelong passion for me. I believe the manufacturing sector and also the technology sector are actually two areas where women have the potential to really thrive, because these are areas where we can not only have a good career, but actually effect change and contribute something more to society rather than just selling a product. I truly believe, for me at least personally, this is the perfect fit for me, because it is truly the combination of my passion, which is I love what I love. I love technology and manufacturing, my skills, and also, most importantly, my purpose, which is, again, contributing something more to society. So with that, I would like to close by thanking the women in manufacturing for this recognition. I hope that this recognition can also serve as an inspiration for many others to continue our good work to inspire, advocate for, and advance more women in both technology and in manufacturing. Remember, together we can really make a difference.
Our next honoree is JD Marhipko. JD is Global Vice President of Quality and Warranty Systems at Delphi Technologies. Throughout her career, JD has been heavily engaged in efforts to support women and promote diversity in the industry. Through the American Society of Quality, she has served as a mentor, providing insight to the next generation of women leaders. She has co-authored 7 books and other numerous articles on strategic planning, quality and lean systems, with case studies from her own work. She is a Cheyenne medalist, and in 2018 was recognized by Crain's as a notable woman in manufacturing. Welcome, JD Marhipko, to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
This has been so humbling, especially when I see who I'm sharing this virtual podium with. Thank you all for coming to share in my being honored into the inaugural Women in Manufacturing's Hall of Fame. This journey is based on family, teams, and the many who have mentored me along the way. It's also been based on luck. We grew up poor with a single parent, Connie, and learned early about the need to be rapidly reliable. We all had to work to help pay the bills while our classmates were watching Saturday morning cartoons. Well, we went bankrupt anyway. That teaches you about life fast. Those teachings burned deep, and they've helped hundreds of teams to make positive changes in businesses that needed to rapidly adapt as they too had to survive. It's a hard scrabble world with few second chances. I've learned lifelong lessons from my husband of 34 years, Mark, and from my children, Alex and Adam, who are the joys of my life. We adopt large breed dogs because others don't. These guys give you so much for so little in return, and we learn from them too. This honor may have my name on it, but the reality is everyone who has mentored me or has been a part of our teams share in this too. While there are too many to mention, I have to name a few. Rick Dowk, who saw my potential and helped get me on a great board of directors at Gibbs Die Casting. A shout out here to the Cook family. To J.R. McGee, a mentor who tells me when I'm full of it. To Cheryl Thompson, CEO of Cadia, for increasing diversity in automotive. To Dick Shanin of the Shanin Red X Company. To Mary Blair, a truth warrior at Accuride. To Grace Duffy, Ken Call, John Cachet, Kathy Fisher, and Arvind Srivastava, just a few of my many friends in the ASQ Society of Quality, or ASQ. And to my best friend Audrey, for her patience with my intermittent calls from Polish airports or hither and yon, so we can catch up because she won't fly, ever. There are professional societies that provide intrinsic and extrinsic value as we learn and network in our careers. I'm proud to be an ASQ fellow and am active in the Quality Management Division. I'm also a member of the Institute of Management Accountants, the Association of Manufacturing Excellence, CADIA, and of course, Women in Manufacturing. I wish to continue to help make a difference across the world of manufacturing. There is so much need and so much to do. Thank you again for this meaningful and stunning recognition.
Our next honoree is Cecilia Render. Cecilia is currently Executive Director of the Nordson Corporation Foundation. Under her leadership, the foundation has significantly increased scholarships aimed at giving young women early access to STEM education and building a more diverse and inclusive manufacturing workforce for the future. In nominating her, her colleague wrote, "Her passion is increasing access to STEM education for underrepresented populations, including females and people of color." We applaud her work as we induct Cecilia Render into the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
Hello. I am honored and humbled to be an inductee into the inaugural class of Women in Manufacturing. Who would have thought that a liberal arts person like me would be recognized for being women in manufacturing? When I was notified, I was honored, I was humbled, I was a little bit surprised. Then I saw the list of other women on the list and I got intimidated. Then I had to think, well, should I be intimidated? I read through, there were varied women, lots of different talents, skill sets. But one thing that we all have in common is that we want to support the next generation of females in technology, engineering, math. I've taken it as part of my career to make sure that women and girls have opportunities. Even though myself am not a technical person, I remember reading about Marie Curie and Elizabeth Blackwell and saying I would love to be like them. But again, not the technical one, but want to make sure that women have those opportunities available to them. So through Nordson, I'm able to find educational opportunities for women in STEM careers and support them that way instead of actually being one of the engineers myself. So I want to thank Nordson for allowing me to have that opportunity. Arthur Ashe once said that start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And I want to thank Nordson for giving me that opportunity to do what I can for women in the field. So I want to thank Nordson, my family, my work colleagues, my philanthropy colleagues out there, and thank you again, Women in Manufacturing.
Our next honoree is Kate Rome. As president of Rome Grinding Solutions, Kate leads a third-generation family business. Her vision and efforts have allowed the company to increase the number of female employees by 25%, and she has encouraged other manufacturing companies to do the same. She also founded the Women's Alliance Network for the Food Processing Suppliers Association. Kate has been recognized for her contributions with the 2019 Influential Women in Manufacturing Award and the 2020 Leadership in Manufacturing Award for Empowering Women in Industry. We are delighted to welcome Kate Rome to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
I would like to start by saying thank you to Women in Manufacturing. What your organization has done and continues to do for women in our industry is simply amazing. I'm humbled and honored to be recognized with these amazingly talented women in this inaugural class. On a quick personal note, I would like to say thank you to my husband Ryan and my children, Haley, Jack, and Christian. Without you all, I couldn't have done this for all these years. So I thank you, along with my twin sister Kelly, who helps me run the company now. Thank you for building this dream of continuing our family legacy for many generations to come. A quick note as well, I would like to thank my team at Rome for your support and being my biggest cheerleaders. This is why I have done this all these years, to grow this for you as well. Lastly, but certainly not least, I wanted to say thank you to all the women in manufacturing that inspire me and motivate me every day. This industry has come a long ways. I look forward to seeing what it is 10 years from now, thanks to organizations like Women in Manufacturing that are bringing us all together. Congratulations to all the other women being honored today or recognized for your contribution, and I look forward to celebrating with my team. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Marcia Sterling. Marcia is a pioneer and female entrepreneur in metal recycling. She is the founder and CEO of United Scrap Metal, Inc. Marcia's colleagues credit her with creating and sustaining a company culture that fosters diversity and inclusion and ensures true pathways for women leaders. She was the first woman ever to receive the National Subcontractor of the Year award from the Small Business Administration. And in 2016, she received the CEO of the Year award by the S&P Global Platts Medal. Welcome Marcia Sterling to the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
Who would have thought that in 2020 we would be wearing these masks? Oh my goodness. In these times, remember, there is always hope. And I hope that it will be a lot sooner than we think. I'm honored and grateful to be inducted into the first ever Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame. Each and every inductee has in their own way contributed to the advancement of women, and for that I'm grateful. Here's a glimpse into the wonderful world of recycling at United Scrap Metal.
Building behind me signifies exactly where I started. That was the first piece of land that I was able to buy, and that building was only about 7,500 square feet. I started the business with $200 and a budget rent-a-truck, and started picking up material in the alleys. The companies that we serve, mainly 50% of our business is manufacturing. The rest is utilities, demolition, and construction. In this Chicago location, we have approximately 250 employees and about another 150 in our other locations nationwide. The diversity of our workforce helps us to be very innovative. We like people coming from different cultures because they always add something to our business that we don't know. And I think that everyone that works in this company always looks at the question of, what is it we can do better? I think the future for this company is supporting all of the young people that we've been able to attract into this business. People have to come into our company and understand that, number one, they have to be passionate about their work. They have a real chance to succeed here and move up, and we give them an opportunity to do just that.
Our final honoree in the 2020 inaugural class of the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame is Gretchen Zurich. Gretchen is president of Zurich Manufacturing Corporation, a family business. Gretchen is a true pioneer for WIM. When she experienced firsthand the challenges faced by women in the industry, Gretchen harnessed the support of the Precision Metal Forming Association and established a small network of women within PMA. That group, Women in Metal Forming, found great success within PMA and served as the foundation for the creation of WIM. Gretchen served as WIM's first chairperson, and in this role helped to define the vision, structure, and development of the organization. She also led the creation of our Education Foundation, the organization you are supporting here. Without Gretchen's leadership, drive, and vision, WIM would not be the organization it is today. We are very happy to welcome Gretchen Zurich into the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame.
I'm really honored to be part of the inaugural class of the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame. I love manufacturing, but let me tell you a little bit about my company. Zurich Manufacturing is 101 years old this year. It was founded by my grandfather in 1919. He started making parts for crystal radio sets. We grew with the electronics industry. Today we have parts in almost every part of your electronic life. In your car, we're part of your door locking systems, anti-lock brakes, seatbelt sensors, airbag sensors, antenna systems, and window systems. In your home, we're in your thermostats, hot water heaters, furnaces, air conditioners, and all your appliances. Out on the street, we're part of LED lighting systems. We have parts on the moon. So we're a little bit of everywhere. If you need to connect a wire to a circuit board or a circuit board to a circuit board, you need one of our connectors. So that's who I am, third generation of a manufacturing company. I am so passionate about manufacturing. I think it's the best career possible, being part of making something. It's exciting. I've also been part of Women in Manufacturing since the very beginning. The organization is wonderful, and I hope that for generations to come, we inspire more women to be as passionate about manufacturing as I am. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us virtually for our inaugural Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame induction celebration. Congratulations to the 15 incredible women who are now official inductees into the Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame. Your achievements in the industry and work to advance fellow women in manufacturing is both honorable and inspiring to so many of us. Thank you again to our presenting sponsor, John Deere, as well as the rest of our generous event sponsors. We hope to see you in person next year in Cleveland on October 6, 2021 for the second annual Women in Manufacturing Hall of Fame induction celebration. Head to the Women in Manufacturing Education Foundation website at wimef.org to submit your 2021 Hall of Fame nominations. Thanks again for joining us and have a wonderful day.